I'm lying on a daybed inside an office in Eugene, Oregon. I have my eye covers on and the playlist that my psychedelic guide created playing in the background. I'm curious if the psychedelic mushrooms that I consumed about 20 minutes earlier have kicked in. So I ask myself, is it happening? Rewind about 4 years, and I'm bitching to my psychiatrist about the latest argument that I had with my wife and the depression that followed. As I'm talking, mid sentence, he stops me and asks, are you sure you're not mad at yourself for being in a position where you have to advocate for yourself and you're unable to, and you're projecting this onto Katie? This question stops me in my tracks. I stare at my psychiatrist blankly, tears well in my eyes, and I look down at the ground in shame. For the first time in my life, I consider my role in creating my own problems. I get the sense that maybe these are internal issues or something happening inside of me. For the next couple years, I dedicate myself to figuring this out. I go to therapy, often seeing multiple therapists multiple times per week. I get sober. I even complete an outpatient program at the local mental health hospital. Yet I always find myself back in my psychiatrist's office telling him about the latest crisis of the month. My psychiatrist helps me through these crisis episodes, and he asks me questions, but he always asks me the same question over and over again, but just phrased in different ways. Finally, he just asked me directly, what is it that you think you need in these moments? And again, I stare at my psychiatrist blankly. It dawns on me that my years of people pleasing have left me in a spot where I have no identity. I have no idea who I am or what I stand for. It feels like all the therapy that I've been to, it's given me all these puzzle pieces, but I have no idea where they go or how they fit together. I'm trapped in a birdcage and I have no idea how to get out. Around the same time, I'm watching a Netflix documentary about therapeutic psychedelic mushroom use. I hear a clinical trial participant talk about the extended relief that he's felt from a single dose of psychedelic mushrooms and how his symptoms have pretty much disappeared. This inspires me. And so I open up my laptop and type in, where can I legally use psychedelic mushrooms to treat mental health issues? And that's how I ended up in Oregon, taking a rather large dose of psychedelic mushrooms. Back on the daybed in Oregon, my journey begins, and my guide watches over me. I see a vision of my mom appear in the dark bluish background. I sense that she is sad and upset. Her arms are folded across her body, and her head is lying in her arms, and she's slumped over like she's lying on a table. I'm hearing beautiful classical music coming from the playlist in the background, and now I'm sobbing. It feels like with every rising violin string, I feel a purge of tears exit my body, and it feels like I'm releasing trauma for both my mom and I. Moments later, it feels like I'm spinning violently out of control, like I'm tumbling from a cliff, and I'm not going to stop until I hit the ground. I'm terrified. In this moment, I think to myself, am I dying? Is this how I go? This feeling persists until I remember my deep breathing training, and I take a deep breath in and out of my nose. The feeling begins to lighten. Another breath in and out of my nose. The feeling lightens even more. And then I take the biggest breath I've ever taken with a sweeping inhale, and I audibly exhale. Sounds like whoosh. And the feeling stops almost completely. I feel safe. I'm grounded. I grin a slight smile because it feels as though I figured something out. My journey continues for the rest of the afternoon, and the playlist turns into a more lyrical format. I hear a beautiful a cappella chorus, and they sing the words, I release all things that no longer serve me. It's a bittersweet moment for me. I feel like I'm mourning the death of former versions of myself, the people pleaser, the alcoholic, the person who can't make a decision, the person who lets fear dominate his life. And it's sad to me because these people have been with me for so long and helped me survive through so much. And I feel a sense of loss. Yet, I can write myself a new story separate from all the baggage that I've been carrying around for so long. My journey ends, and I come back to Texas to start the integration process, or the part of the process where you try to make sense of everything that came up during your journey and turn it into long-term behavioral change. I make appointments with my psychiatrist and my psychedelic guide. But 8 months later, I'm talking to my wife, and she wants to run a situation by me that she encountered at work, and she wants to know if she handled it the right way. As she's talking to me, I feel one part of my brain picking up on keywords that she's saying. I feel another part of my brain trying to formulate a response that I think she wants to hear, the people pleaser side of me, the person that I thought that I put to rest in Oregon. Silence ensues. And then finally, my wife asks, "Well, are you going to say anything?" This question and its tone provoke an instinctual defensiveness inside of me. My mind is a snake, and it's ready to attack at any moment. I recognize what's happening, and so I take a deep breath in through my nose and out through my mouth. And all of a sudden, time feels like it's slowing down. I feel like I'm operating full speed in a slow motion scene. This is, in this moment, it's a culmination of everything that I've been through. The therapy, the mushroom journey, the integration, it's all coming together. I finally have all the puzzle pieces, and I know exactly where they go and how they fit together. And most importantly, I realize that the key to my cage is held by the scared little boy that lives inside of me. So I summon this little boy to the conversation, and he appears. I get down on one knee so I can look this little boy in the eye, and I reach out my hand, and he reaches out his hand and grabs it, and I'm holding it gently. I tell him, "It's okay. We'll get through this." And he says to me back lovingly, "Okay, I trust you." And then I say, with a pride and a confidence that I've never felt in the past, "Katie, how can I best support you right now?" And finally, at last, I feel freedom. Thank you.